Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal crossover. Mainly focusing on How to Get Away with Murder because I watch How to Get Away with Murder more often. I like to talk mainly about how they were able to use techniques like framing and wardrobe and dialogue to separate whose episode it really was. A lot of times when we have extremely talented actors like Viola Davis and Kerry Washington, you might see one person overshadowing the other in a scene together. However, this was not the case for these two episodes. When it was Scandal, you recognize and understand that Kerry Washington was in charge. This is Olivia Pope's space. This is her world. In the How to Get Away with Murder, you understood that this is Annalise's space. This is her world. They even go as far as expressing that using the dialogue. You have Olivia Pope telling Annalise Keating that this is her town, and if they're gonna work together, this is her town, and this is her game, and so they will play by her rules. Later on in the How to Get Away with Murder episode, we have Annalise Keating mirroring that same sentiment and telling her this is her world and her rules. So you initially go in knowing who is in charge of each of these scenes. It also goes hand in hand with the wardrobe, the colors that they choose to give the characters to wear in each scene. We have Olivia Pope wearing a lot of grays, and we have Annalise wearing a lot of yellows. Mainly in the Scandal episode, we get to see Annalise where we don't usually see Annalise. She's asking for a favor from someone else. And she's in a position of vulnerability, but she's still strong. The new Annalise, basically. The Annalise that we've been seeing slowly revealing. But now she's actually asking someone for help. She's asking Olivia Pope to help her with her class action lawsuit and get it to the Supreme Court. So we see Annalise Keating wearing a lot of yellows. There's at the end of the Scandal episode, she's wearing a yellow coat, while we have Olivia wearing a grayish, light bluish colored coat. And if you look at color theory, you see that yellow is a bit of a color that can mean a mixture of things. It could be a bit of excitement, or it could be caution. And Olivia is wearing a grayish blue. Blue is strength. It means that you are sure, you are headstrong about whatever situation you're getting yourself into. And the grayish tint to her clothes. We saw her wearing a lot of grays, which may give you a sense of that person is sort of robotic and withdrawn from emotions. They do a lot of things mainly because of what they think of, not so much on how it's going to affect another person. And then you have Annalise coming in wearing the yellow, and she's very cautious of the situation that she's going to get herself in, but at the same time she is excited and looking forward to the best of whatever situation is gonna happen. Like whatever the outcome will be, she's excited for it. I felt like the creators of the show were really trying to get us to focus on the colors of the clothes that Annalise was wearing, because yet again we have her wearing yellow a bunch of other times. We have her wearing the yellow dress, then we have her wearing the dark mustard yellow blouse while she was talking to Olivia. So the yellow dress situation, we have her, she's still questioning what she's doing. She's a little bit doubtful of the outcome of her case. So she's wearing a light yellow dress, because later on when we see her and she's actually standing up to Olivia a little bit, you get to see her in that dark yellow. Almost seems like she's still cautious, she's still excited, but she has some sort of strength. She is stronger than she was when she was wearing the light yellow dress. She's stronger than when she was wearing that light yellow coat. Now, this is Annalise's scene. Annalise got the last word. Whereas, whenever we were dealing with the scandal episode, we have most of the arguments between her and Olivia. You have Olivia getting the last word, showing that she is in control of that scene. We have her putting on that blue suit, a representation of the strength that she was able to harness going into the courthouse. So she came prepared that day. She was strong, even though later on in the episode we get to see her break down, and she's basically saying that she's not able to go forward and even present her case to the Supreme Court. But her putting on that blue suit, if you notice, there's a difference where the camera is. So when she's wearing the yellow dress with the black blazer, the camera is looking up on her. Then we have her in the blue and the camera is looking down on her. Normally you'd say, well, doesn't the low angles give the character more grandiosity? Doesn't it make them seem larger than life if it's at a low angle looking up? Well, yes, that's usually the case. But because the color is working in that way, the low angle camera, the thing that's giving her the power that she doesn't have because she's wearing that yellow dress. It's switching the role. So now when you're looking down at her wearing that dark blue suit, you can look down on her now because she already have all that strength represented in the color of her suit. We also get to see Olivia's costume being integrated into the episode by having Annalise's mom go into an episode and spilling coffee on her light blue blazer. The thing I'd like to touch on is just Michaela and Marcus. Like, we saw it coming from the beginning. We knew that moment when she went to that bar with him, that there was going to be something with her and Marcus, because she's still steadily chasing her Barack, as if she does not have Asher. And I feel like this situation between her and Marcus is really going to be their downfall, because Asher reacts very badly in situations where he's pushed to the corner. And really the only thing that Asher seems to get joy from in a situation where he's looking at jail time is his relationship with Michaela. So anything that comes between and cause some sort of friction might be the death of their lives. It might be where their lives get revealed. And now that we see that Simon has woken up, we can just assume that maybe there's gonna be more involving Asher and the law. Maybe Asher will be looking at some sort of jail time, and he'll probably spill his guts because he's so angry with Michaela because she cheated on him. And we all know that he had a problem with her comment about her Barack. So he's already insecure in a situation like that, and he feels like he's just saving space for her to find the man that she always wanted, which is basically Marcus. He is very intelligent, very attractive, and that's her speed. He has a lot of power and a lot of pull in Washington, and everyone knows that Michaela wants to be seen in the spotlight. And that's kind of what I really liked about what Annalise did when she mentioned Connor and how much help Connor gave her, because Michaela swooped in and took Connor completely out of the situation because she told Annalise about Olivia Pope. So in a situation like that, where Annalise is left, she's basically backed into a corner, like, who do you give the credit to? She gave it to Connor, who is the rightful who's rightfully deserving of that credit. But I guess we'll see what happens with the whole Simon waking up thing, because that can go a bunch of different ways. It was nice to see Annalise getting to present her story and her case to the Supreme Court and having them listening to her. Even when they didn't want to listen to her, she found a way, just like Annalise always does. And kudos to everyone for making the crossover episodes a success. They were pretty good. I don't watch Scandal that often, so I don't have much to compare it to as to the other Scandal episodes, but from what I see, it was a good episode of television, and so was the How to Get Away with Murder episode. So it was definitely a successful crossover. They had these brilliant actors and they were giving it their all.